Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to be looking at the market cycle return on investment, or ROI. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. As measured from the bottom, Bitcoin has gone up about 7x this cycle so far. Now, the first two cycles are it's tough to know if we should put them in one cycle or separate them. If you put them in one cycle, it looks something like this. And then you have your other cycles as well. But what we're going to do is we're just going to actually just ignore those and look at the last three cycles, right? The current cycle and the two cycles that came before it. Now, what you'll notice is that where it looks like we're probably going to experience diminishing returns once again. Note that as I make this video, we're currently on day 996 of the market cycle. Now, I'm recording this video on August 1st, so by the time it's released, it'll be a few more days. But at least on August 1st, we're 996 days from the market cycle bottom. Note that last cycle, the market cycle ended on day 1059. The cycle before that, we ended it on day 1067. So I'm just putting this out there so that in a few months, when we're thinking about, how much higher, could things go, or, could it top out, or when might it top out, what price is realistic, what's not. It's more of a timing thing. It's more so, once we get closer to 2026, it makes sense to assume that, in my opinion, we'll likely see some we'll likely have our normal midterm year bear market. We had one in 2014 and 2018 and 2022. I'm gonna guess we'll probably have another one in 2026. But just keep this chart in mind. I want to publish this chart every few weeks or so, just so people know where we are in the cycle and don't just get complacent. And remember that we will probably have some form of diminishing returns by the end of the cycle. Two cycles ago, Bitcoin went up, over 100x from the bottom. And then last cycle, it went up about 20x from the bottom. And again, this cycle so far, it's up about 7x from the low. But you can still see there's a little bit of time in here just to get back to the length of the last two market cycles. The other thing I want to measure it from is the ROI after the cycle peak. So if you do that and you just look at these last couple of cycles, you can see that we're currently on day 1362. Again, I'm measuring this as of August 1st. Last cycle ended up going till about day 1423. So about it's kind of similar to the other. It might be a little bit longer than is if you measured from the low. And the cycle for that went to day 1473. And again, we're currently on day 1362. So again, that would also suggest, you might have a few more months. If you take it from the April peak, we're much further out, but I would prefer to just take it from the November peak because that was the actual market cycle top. But you can see how closely this resembles the last two market cycles, and arguably we're getting pretty close to the final rally that might occur sometime in the second half of this year, if history is any indication. And then the other way to look at it is the ROI after the halving. And when you look at it like this, it actually looks pretty low. But we're currently on day 468 as measured on August 1st. And last cycle went to day 546, and the cycle before that went to day 525. So again, no matter how you measure it, it suggests you still might have a few more months left in the tank for Bitcoin if it is to play out like the other cycles. Just a warning, if it's later this year and it looks like all this stuff has completed, it probably would be better to assume that it's not different and that we'll just see more or less the same thing that we've seen before. The good news, though, with diminishing losses, or the good news with diminishing returns, is that you also get diminishing losses. So the moves to the downside each cycle tend to not be as bad as the prior cycle, but also the move to the upside wasn't as much. So I just want people to be aware of these charts, look at the ROI from the low, from the halving, from the peak, just to get some insight into what might happen as we get further on in the second half of 2025. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and again, check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.